We are only a few weeks away from the Blood of My Blood premiere, so let's talk about some of the main characters from Outlander that we will see younger versions of in the prequel series. This video will be about Colum MacKenzie, so if you are looking to avoid spoilers from the books and the TV show, please do keep on scrolling. So one of my favorite characters from the books and the TV show is Colum MacKenzie, who is a very interesting, calculated, and powerful man who serves as the clan leader of the clan MacKenzie. And as we know from season 1 of Outlander, he does so alongside his brother Dougal. Colum was born in 1693, and he is the second child of his father and mother, Annie and Jacob MacKenzie, and he is about 21 years old at the time that this prequel show is about to take place. In the books, he's described as having gray eyes and the same imposing presence that all the Mackenzies seem to have, although he suffers from Toulouse-Lautrec syndrome, so he is very much crippled from the waist down. In the books, we learn that he had a couple of falls when he was about 18 years old, and he never properly healed from those wounds that he inflicted from the fall. And at that point that they realized that they were permanently damaged. And at the time, of course, they did not know what he has. And Claire is able to give us that information with her knowledge as a healer. Now, Colum is known for being a very thoughtful, cultured, and just natural leadership abilities that he inhibits, and was always willing to do what he thought was right for the betterment of the clan. And that is in large part because he is the eldest son of Jacob MacKenzie. And so from a young age, he had been almost groomed to fall into this role of chieftain and laird of the clan. And at the time that Jacob dies, which is in 1715, that is thrown up into the air because Dougal, his younger brother, is also vying for that position. Dougal is very much aware of the fact that Colum does not have the ability to lead the men of Clan MacKenzie into battle if need be, and he uses that as sort of a weaponized approach towards his own campaign with the clan to be named as the laird. It's also worth noting that at the time that this prequel series is taking place, he is very much trying to, again, do what he believes is right for the benefit of the clan. And Ellen is the eldest child of this family, but she is still a woman. So Colum and her end up being in a very tough situation because she is seen as a political pawn in many respects to Colum. And Ellen was pretty much known as the favorite child of Jacob MacKenzie, and he shielded her from a lot of the politics that in large part I think was the expectation of the time, that his daughter would be married to another clan in order to strengthen the clan itself. And we know that Colum did that with his marriage to Letitia. I would imagine that growing up knowing that you are likely going to step into the shoes of Laird as a young boy, and then again as a 21-year-old man in the series that we're going to see him as, and knowing that your older sister has always been the favorite of your father, and then having to basically order your sister to marry someone in order to benefit the clan, there's going to be a lot of tension between those two characters, and I think that there's a lot of really juicy material for the actors to work with within the story, and I'm excited to see that play out on screen. We can also see that Ellen was always brought into the fold by her father when it came to matters of politics. She's very well informed about the inner workings of the clan, and so I'm happy to see even from this little clip that she's going to be involved in a lot of these conversations because per the book canon, her father involved her in all of those conversations, and that is a big reason why the two of them were so close, is because he really kept her close to him and informed her about what he was doing within clan matters, and therefore she has a very good understanding as to what is going on once Colum and Dougal get put in this position to fight over the position of laird. Now we can also see that Ned Gowan plays a big role in this. He is very much, I feel, almost like a puppeteer trying to balance these two very headstrong men and recognize what the better choice is for the clan as a whole. I think everyone identifies that Colum is much more level-headed when it comes to clan matters as opposed to Dougal. But it does seem like we're going to see Colum potentially play dirty in some of the situations we find him in, trying to, rally the support of members of the clan when we know that Dougal is going to be running his own campaign, arguing against Colum because of his physical impairments. Ultimately, we know that there is a large gathering held at Leoch in order to decide who will become the new Laird of Clan MacKenzie, and it comes down obviously to a vote between Colum and Dougal. Dougal, as we know from the books and the TV series, is not someone who is known as being very level-headed. He is also someone who has very clouded judgment at times, whereas Colum seems to be the more steady, even keel, and diplomatic of the two. And so when Colum ends up ultimately winning the position as Laird of Clan MacKenzie, Dougal swears to be Colum's legs and sword for him, essentially. So he becomes clan war chieftain. We know in the main series that the two men have a very strange relationship far into adulthood. We see that all the way up until the day Colum dies. And they're only 1 year apart in age. So I'm really excited to see how they portray that on screen and how we have such a great representation of them as adult men and the source material also to pull upon. So these two actors are really able to take the way that they behave as adults and then find how they become that way as children and portray that on screen, which I think will be very exciting to watch. Ultimately, Colum is going to be put in a lot of sticky situations in this prequel series. I think we're going to be following a lot of his story and his fight to do what he believes is right for the clan. As we can see here, I'm merely thinking of the clan seems to be something that he really adheres to throughout his whole life. So I am very excited to see how this all plays out on screen and just how far into the rising we actually get with this prequel series, especially given the fact that we know that they've greenlit a season 2. And Dougal is, like I said, the war chieftain. He's going to be the one acting out on Colum's request about how to go into these battles. And as we know from the main series, he doesn't always listen. So this should have a lot of really cool side stories to the main romance stories that we're going to get with Ellen and Brian. And then, of course, Claire's parents as well.